Ever wonder how the Amish feed their chickens without spending a penny? Rising feed prices and the risk of feed shortages are major concerns for chicken owners. But believe it or not, the Amish have already solved these problems. They rely on tried and true techniques to keep their flocks healthy without draining their wallets. In this video, we'll explore how they do it and show you ways to cut your own chicken feed costs, possibly down to zero. So, how can you become just as self-sufficient? Many Amish farmers cut down on feed costs by partnering with local stores, restaurants, and bakeries. These places often have leftover produce, bread, or other items that are no longer appealing to customers. Instead of sending this extra food to the landfill, businesses can give or sell it at a low cost to farmers who use it to feed their chickens. This not only saves money but also helps reduce waste and clutter in the store's dumpster. Imagine the day when every feed bag is gone, yet you're still getting weekly boxes of fresh scraps from your local market. In tough times, that supply could make all the difference. To get started, visit nearby stores or cafes and politely ask if they have surplus items they plan to discard. It could be wilted lettuce, bruised fruit, or stale bread. Many managers appreciate cutting back on waste, so they might be glad to hand over these leftovers. If they're concerned about legal issues, assure them you take full responsibility for how you use the food. Always sort through the boxes to remove anything moldy or overly seasoned. For a larger flock, you might arrange daily pickups or form agreements with more than one business. Chickens will thrive on the variety, and you'll see your feed bills go down. This method matches the Amish focus on using every resource to its fullest. If your flock is big, coordinate your schedule so you collect enough scraps without becoming overwhelmed by storage or spoilage. By forging these local partnerships, you'll have a steady, low-cost flow of nutritious food for your birds. Some Amish families also work with food banks, soup kitchens, and other community groups. When donations approach their expiration date or become unsuitable for people, these organizations often look for farmers who can use them for animal feed. Chickens, for example, can easily digest produce that might be a bit too old for humans, as long as it isn't truly spoiled. What if you arrive at the feed store tomorrow and find empty shelves? A friendly connection with a food bank could become your secret supply source when everyone else is out of luck. Putting this plan into action is simple. Reach out to local charities and explain that you raise chickens. Some places will have you sign a waiver stating you won't feed the items to people, just your birds. After that, you could end up with boxes full of overripe fruits, slightly wilted veggies, or dented canned goods that remain safe for animal consumption. Do discard anything obviously spoiled or contaminated before sharing it with your flock. If resources are scarce, your chickens could survive mostly on these free donations. However, they'll do best with a balanced diet, so consider adding protein sources or letting them range outdoors for insects and fresh greens. Many food banks have specific days when they clear out old inventory, so plan your visits accordingly. This approach lines up with the Amish practice of community support and reducing waste. You help your local food bank clear out items they can't use, and in return, your flock gets fed at zero cost. The Amish are great at finding free, natural treats for their chickens by watching what nature offers each season. As the year changes, different plants and fruits become available, and the Amish make the most of these resources to keep their chickens healthy without spending extra money. In late summer and fall, apple and pear trees often drop a lot of windfall fruit. Instead of letting these bruised or slightly damaged apples and pears rot on the ground, Amish families quickly gather them. They remove any rotten parts to make sure only good fruit is fed to the chickens. Then they chop the rest into small pieces that chickens can easily eat. Pumpkins and squash are also excellent treats. By cutting them open, chickens can peck at the soft pulp and eat the nutritious seeds inside, which they love. When feed shelves run out, nature might still have plenty of hidden food, like wild berries or fallen fruit. The Amish are always ready to collect these natural treats before they go to waste. Besides fallen fruit, Amish families look for scraps from their own gardens. They find things like carrot tops, wilted lettuce, and extra zucchini that would normally be thrown away. These scraps are tasty snacks for chickens as long as they haven't been treated with harmful chemicals. The Amish also gather edible wild plants such as dandelion greens, chickweed, and berries. They make sure these foods are safe and free from pollution before feeding them to their chickens. In areas with oak trees, acorns can be given in small amounts. The Amish often crush or break them first, making it easier for chickens to eat and digest. To make gathering seasonal treats even easier, some Amish families plant fruit trees or berry bushes near the chicken coop. This way, when fruit naturally falls from the trees, the chickens can quickly peck at it without much effort. This not only reduces the amount of produce that goes to waste, but also provides the flock with extra nutrients throughout the year. It's important for the Amish to only give chickens what they can finish in a day. This helps prevent spoilage and keeps pests away, ensuring that the chickens stay healthy and the coop area remains clean. The Amish use a smart method called rotational grazing to keep their pastures healthy and prevent overuse. Instead of letting chickens stay in one spot until all the grass is gone, they divide their land into several sections or plots. The chickens stay in one plot for a few weeks, pecking at the grass, bugs, and seeds. When that area starts to get empty, the Amish move the flock to the next plot. This rotation gives the first section time to grow new grass and bugs, keeping the land fresh and productive. When feed prices spike or supplies vanish, any self-renewing system becomes priceless, and that's exactly what rotational grazing offers. If there's not much space, the Amish use chicken tractors. A chicken tractor is a lightweight coop with wire sides and a partial roof that can be easily moved to different areas. Each day or every few days, the Amish push or pull the tractor to a new spot. This lets chickens scratch through fresh grass, hunt for insects, and find seeds while staying safe from predators like foxes or raccoons. Building a chicken tractor is simple and affordable. The Amish use basic materials like wooden beams, chicken wire, and small wheels. Some families build their own, while others buy pre-made tractors. The key is to make sure the tractor is easy to move and gives chickens enough space to forage. Why does this method save so much on feed? Every time the Amish move the chicken tractor, the chickens find new natural food like worms, insects, sprouted seeds, and fresh grass. This natural feeding reduces the need for buying commercial feed. Many Amish families have reported cutting their feed costs by half or more by using rotational grazing and chicken tractors. Another important part of rotational grazing is monitoring the land. The Amish make sure not to let chickens overgraze any one area. They move the flock before the grass gets too thin or the bug population drops. This careful management helps the land recover quickly, staying productive for future grazing. For larger properties, the Amish might use movable electric fences or netting to divide the pasture into sections. These fences can be easily adjusted to create new grazing areas as needed. This flexibility allows the Amish to manage their land efficiently, ensuring every part of the pasture gets a chance to grow back. Rotational grazing and chicken tractors also improve soil health by spreading chicken manure evenly across the pasture, acting as natural fertilizer. This enriches the soil, promoting better plant growth and healthier chickens. Additionally, by allowing chickens to forage naturally, the Amish ensure their flocks get a varied and balanced diet, leading to stronger, more productive birds.
This is an A-frame structure with a scissor truss. The nest boxes are up inside, roost boards here. This whole thing gets moved every 2 days, and then the whole circle fence, it's a quarter acre, it's 1,000 chickens in a quarter acre. We can move that, the whole kit and caboodle every 4 days. So we move the shelter every 2 days so we don't get too much manure in one spot, and we move the whole thing every 4 days. To a quarter acre. It's made for 1,000 birds. By moving them all the time, they get a lot of green material, they get away from their manure, they get fresh ground, and of course they get fresh air and sunshine. There's no flies here, no smell. It's very, very chicken friendly, and the electrified netting protects them.
Many Amish families raise their own feed grains like corn, wheat, soybeans, or barley. They may also grow high-protein crops or seeds, such as alfalfa or sunflowers. Even if you only have a small amount of land, maybe a quarter acre, you might be surprised by how much feed you can produce. A few rows of corn or a bed of sunflowers can add a big chunk of nutrients to your chicken's diet. If your regular feed suddenly disappeared next week, would you be able to plant and harvest your own? The Amish do, and it helps them stay independent of stores. Before you start, research which seeds grow best in your local climate. Ask experienced neighbors or gardening clubs about varieties that thrive in your region. Barley is great for sprouting, while corn is a sturdy, popular choice. Sunflower seeds offer good nutrition, and the plant stalks can even be turned into mulch. Alfalfa is another favorite due to its high protein content, and it can be dried as hay for winter feeding. When it's time to store what you grow, keep your harvest dry and safe from rodents. Clean barrels or sealed bins usually work. Whole grains keep their nutrients longer than cracked ones, so you can store them for months without much loss of value. If you want to boost nutrition further, try fermenting or sprouting these grains before feeding them to your flock. The Amish often create a simple sprouting setup, like an old bookshelf or a corner of a greenhouse, to grow lush mats of green fodder. Some people claim they've cut their feed costs in half by sprouting grains. You could also plant comfrey or other perennial crops as extra fodder. The idea is to form a nearly self-sustaining loop, so you don't have to depend on the feed store. Many Amish families avoid throwing away kitchen scraps that can be safely fed to chickens. They gather fruit peels, vegetable trimmings, stale bread, and even leftover pasta. Items like onions, garlic, chocolate, or anything moldy should never go into the chicken bowl. But there's still a surprising amount of everyday food that works well. By taking a closer look at what's in the trash, you might discover all sorts of free chicken treats. When store shelves run bare or prices spike, your own kitchen may hold enough scraps to make up for the shortage. Are you making the most of every peel and crust? Some people also set up a compost system near the chicken run. Chickens naturally scratch through the compost, helping it break down faster while snacking on bugs and worms. This process adds extra protein to their diet at no cost. Just be sure to avoid tossing in harmful scraps or moldy items. Over time, the compost becomes rich fertilizer for gardens, which then grow healthier plants that can feed both people and chickens. Leftover dairy is another valuable source of nutrition, especially if you have goats, a cow, or an extra supply of milk. Many Amish families use clabbered milk, which is raw milk that has lightly fermented. Chickens enjoy its yogurt-like texture, and it provides a boost of protein. If you only have pasteurized milk, it may not thicken the same way, but you can still offer it in small amounts. To make it go further and reduce the chance of digestive problems, mix it with other scraps. Through this method, the Amish transform what some people see as waste into affordable, practical chicken feed. In addition to cutting feed costs, certain animals can help protect or support the chicken yard. Rabbits, barn cats, and guardian dogs each play a unique part. For example, the Amish often keep rabbits because they can live well on garden weeds, safe greens, and a few table scraps. They don't need special pellets if you manage their diet carefully. Their manure then goes back into the garden, boosting plant growth for future chicken feed, a natural cycle that saves money. Imagine having a team of helpful animals, each one doing a specific job that saves you time, money, and worry. Barn cats act as pest control experts by hunting mice and rats that try to steal chicken feed. The Amish usually feed these cats small portions, so they'll keep hunting. Guardian dogs look out for bigger threats like foxes or coyotes. They can eat meaty bones and safe leftovers, avoiding toxic foods like chocolate, grapes, or onions, which can reduce the cost of commercial dog food. Every chicken these dogs protect is one less loss for the flock and for your pocket. Together, these animals create a system where each member helps the others. Rabbits provide fertilizer, cats reduce wasted feed by controlling rodents, and dogs shield the flock from predators. The Amish have practiced this method for generations, showing that when people think beyond just chicken feed, the entire farm or homestead can run more efficiently and much more affordably. Many Amish farmers ferment their chicken feed to make it easier for birds to digest and to stretch their overall feed supply. The process is simpler than most people think. Take a blend of grains like scratch mix, wheat, or barley and soak it in water for 1 to 3 days. During this time, healthy bacteria develop, breaking down parts of the grain that would otherwise be harder for the chickens to absorb. The result is a more nutritious fermented mash that can help boost egg production and overall health without increasing the amount of dry feed you buy. If you could make a single bag of feed last twice as long while still giving your chickens all the nutrients they need, wouldn't that be a game changer? Besides fermentation, the Amish also sprout grains or grow fodder. You can soak barley or wheat seeds in water, then spread them in trays. After about a week of daily watering, you get a thick layer of green sprouts. Each pound of seeds can turn into several pounds of fresh fodder. This is especially useful in cold months when grass is scarce. If you have limited space, build or buy a vertical rack, so you can stack several trays on top of each other. Chickens go crazy for these sprouts, pecking through the roots and shoots. When deciding how much fermented or sprouted feed to give, many people start by replacing about half of the chicken's normal ration. Others go higher if they also provide table scraps or allow free ranging. Watch your flock's egg output and behavior to find the right balance. The key benefit is that fermenting and sprouting help you get the most out of every grain. If there's ever a feed shortage, these methods allow you to use what you have more efficiently, a big reason why the Amish rely on them. One of the Amish's main secrets for cutting feed costs is free-ranging their chickens. They let their birds roam around fields, yards, or safe enclosures to hunt for insects, worms, seeds, and other goodies. Since chickens are natural scavengers, they're remarkably good at finding food on their own, especially if they have enough room to explore. If the feed store was closed for good, would your flock be able to thrive on their own instincts? Free-ranging helps because chickens eat pests like beetles or caterpillars, turning them into fresh eggs. They also scratch at the soil, dropping fertilizer as they move around, which improves the land for future planting. Many people let chickens into the garden after harvesting, so the birds can clean up stray vegetables, insects, and seeds that might otherwise go to waste. If your garden is still growing, use removable fencing or only allow free ranging when your crops are safe, because chickens can quickly damage tender plants. Some worry about predators like foxes, hawks, or neighborhood dogs. The Amish often rely on guard dogs or protective roosters that sound the alarm and fight back if a threat appears. A good farm dog can also eat leftover scraps, cutting down on commercial dog food costs. By giving chickens the freedom to forage, you're cutting down on how much you need to spend at the feed store. And for larger flocks or smaller spaces, you can pair free ranging with rotational grazing or chicken tractors. This way, chickens can explore a fresh patch of ground every few days, and the old spot has time to recover, an approach that reflects the Amish commitment to working with nature rather than against it. The key to how the Amish feed their chickens at almost no cost goes beyond one or two clever tricks. It's their mindset. They see farm life as a continuous cycle where nothing is wasted and everything has a purpose. Kitchen scraps and garden leftovers feed the chickens. In return, the chickens produce manure that enriches the soil. That improved soil then grows better crops for both people and animals, creating a loop that supports itself with minimal outside resources. Are you willing to see every bit of land, every piece of leftover food, and every chance to connect with your community as part of one giant system that keeps you and your flock nourished, even when times get tough? For the Amish, it's not about picking just one tactic, like feeding scraps or letting chickens roam. They combine all available methods. For example, they might run a compost pile near the chicken coop so birds can rummage for worms, rely on barn cats to keep rodents out of feed storage, grow their own grains, and ferment or sprout part of that grain supply. By putting these pieces together, they're ready for sudden price spikes or supply shortages. Instead of panicking when feed prices skyrocket, they simply adjust their routine, maybe sprout more grains or collect more scraps from local sources. Because they've built this system from the ground up, they're not as affected by market changes or store closures. In simpler terms, the Amish keep an eye on every resource, respect the land, and prepare for hard times. When regular feed becomes too costly, they seamlessly switch to homegrown or foraged options. This big picture view can help anyone, not just the Amish, raise chickens more efficiently, save money, and stay resilient no matter what the future holds. We've seen how the Amish use creativity, local resources, and smart planning to feed their chickens at almost no cost. Ready to do the same? If this video helped you, please share it so others can learn these free feeding methods too. Thanks for watching.